Hello, and welcome to Primary News, Cedar Grove Edition. I'm Liza.
And I'm James, and we're your hosts for tonight. There are so many wonderful things happening at the home of the Patriots, and we are happy to share some of them with you tonight. Stay tuned. Primary News will start in 2 minutes.
What's it like when you hear your calling? Will you ignore it? Or will you listen? What if it calls you to go halfway around the world? To serve people you've never met? What will you do when you hear your calling? Peace Corps, life is calling. How far will you go?
Welcome back to Primary News, Cedar Grove Edition. I'm Liza. The school year is off to an exciting start due to many changes affecting our building and district.
The most exciting was our implementation of our full-day kindergarten program, which brought the addition of 3 new teachers to Cedar Grove: Mrs. Jody Monty, Ms. Mackenzie Gaston, and Mrs. Gloria DeMola.
We would also like to announce and welcome Mrs. Elise Dugan, who has joined our 5th grade teaching staff.
Later in the show, we will get a chance to hear from our new kindergarten teachers on how it feels to become part of the Cedar Grove family and introduce our youngest Patriots to the magical world of learning.
But first, let's see how our students are demonstrating good character at the Grove. This year's theme is acronym Patriots. P is be prepared, A is accept responsibility, T is try your best, R is respect others, I is inspire others, O is outreach, T is be on time, S is self-control. Students are acknowledged monthly for showing good character throughout acts of kindness and community service.
In addition, our health and physical education teachers, Mrs. Matthew and Mrs. Wilhelm, are highlighting such exemplary behavior in gym class on a bulletin board entitled, "Caught You Showing Good Character." We are looking forward to seeing every Patriot celebrated.
It's time for a short break. Primary News will be right back after this.
I knew I needed help paying for college. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I used to make worksheets for my friends to do. No one ever wanted to come over. My guidance counselor told me about federal student aid, and my mom helped me fill out the free application. I got the grants and loans that made school possible. There is a way to pay for school. You just have to find it. My name is Caitlin. I'm going to be a special education teacher. I'm going to live my dream.
Welcome back. I'm James. Before the break, we were looking at how the Patriots are showing good character during Respect Week. At the beginning of this month, all students got a chance to reflect on the importance of this character trait through various academic and social activities and projects. In addition, our
School Spirit Committee organized a fun-filled theme week. On Monday, all Patriots wore a team shirt showing that Cedar Grove teams up against bullying. Tuesday was Bows, Ribbons, and Ties Day to illustrate that we are all tied together. Wednesday was a sea of yellow as students and staff dressed in this symbolic color. Symbolic color to show their commitment to the golden rule. Thursday was be a superhero, not a bully. And lastly, Friday was Red, White, and Blue Day to show that Patriots are proud and respectful. We will be continuing with this theme as we prepare for our fall pep rally on November 20th.
Another recent event at the Grove was our annual Scholastic Book Fair and Ice Cream Social. Monsters filled the media center showcasing the theme, "Reading is so much fun, you'll get goosebumps." The monsters were a perfect way to build on the anticipation and excitement of the upcoming Halloween holiday.
The book fair kicked off with a monstrous grand event on October 9th, whereby kindergartners and their grandparents were invited to preview the selections and encourage the joy of reading. During the week of October 12th to the 16th, students were able to explore the various books and merchandise during their media and technology classes. The book fair concluded on October 19th with the students having the opportunity to invite their families to share in the fun with a night of reading, with a night celebrating reading and ice cream. What could be better than that? It's time for a short break, but don't go away. When we return, as promised, we will introduce you to our new kindergarten teachers.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone? And in the process, maybe learn something yourself. Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Welcome back. It all begins in kindergarten, and that teacher creates the all-important first impression of school. To make it a positive and lasting one, Cedar Grove's kindergarten teachers have been working to strike a balance between establishing routines and procedures with experimentation, creativity, and play, all essential in establishing an effective learning environment.
Let's watch a clip of the 5th grader Bella with Mrs. Monty, Ms. Gaston, and Ms. Damola, who understand what it's like for their students to be new members to the Cedar Grove family as they share that same distinction.
Hi, I'm Bella, and I'm here to interview these 3 new kindergarten teachers of Cedar Grove. Ms. Damola, Ms. Gaston, and Ms. Monty. Ms. Damola, what was your reaction when you found out you were going to be teaching kindergarten at Cedar Grove?
Bella, I went to Cedar Grove myself, so when Mr. Ryan called me on the phone and said he wanted me to be his new kindergarten teacher, I couldn't have been happier. It was one of the best days I've had. I was so excited.
All right, Ms. Gaston, how did you go about setting up your classroom to welcome your new students?
We were fortunate enough to get all new furniture from the district, so other than just setting up the dynamic of what we wanted in our classroom and extra decorations, it was pretty simple and straightforward for me.
All right, Miss Monty, as a child's first teacher, what do you see as your greatest responsibility to make a student's first impression of school a positive one?
Well, I have to say, before this, I taught 6th grade, and that was the first year of a child going into middle school. So now being kindergarten, it's a similar process. The most important thing is showing enthusiasm for the children to know every day when they come to school that their teacher's waiting for them, that they're going to smile at them every day, make them feel special. We sing, we dance, so everything to make them feel really excited.
All right, Ms. Damola. Learning through play and hands-on activities are so important in teaching young students. Can you tell us how you incorporate that into your lessons?
Sure. Every day, I'll teach mini lessons in reading and math, and after I teach a little lesson, I like to see them playing with the skill. So I'll set up 5 tables, and I'll have a game at each table. And if I taught rhyming that day, I'll have a rhyming game. If I taught the letter A, we'll have an A table where they'll write the letter A, and they'll say words that start with the letter A. And same thing in math. Today we're doing a number board where we're writing the number 1, and we're coloring in one box all the way to 10. So they're going to make their own number boards, and then they're going to count at one table, and they're just going to play completely themselves. So I'll teach them a little bit, and then they're going to show me what they know by playing. And that's how we like to do it here in kindergarten.
All right, Ms. Gaston, what is the most exciting part of teaching kindergarten?
My most important part, I feel, of teaching is just the spark of a child's eye once they have learned something or grasp a concept for the first time. That little aha moment where they actually feel like they accomplished something. That's warm and fuzzy feeling for myself.
All right, Miss Monty, can you describe a typical day in kindergarten now that we have a full day schedule?
Well, our full day schedule basically has to do a lot with routines. So the first thing the children do when they come in, they hang up their things, they get their lunch boxes and move them aside, they sign in, and they know what the routines are going to be all day long. They move to the board up front, like the board here, and we do all of our activities in the front with the weather and Ladies, what are some of the other things? The days of the week. There you go. So all of the things that we do up in the front of the room. For me, then we usually have a special that we go to, then snack. So the day just moves along. Every single day is a little different because our specials are different times. We do our language arts routine up again on the floor, and then we go to our centers around the room where we practice our skills. At the end of the day, my class tends to like to share songs with each other. So we dim the lights, they sing songs to each other, and we get ready to leave.
Okay, this last question is for all three of you amazing teachers. What inspired you to become a teacher?
Okay. I have to say, what inspired me was a teacher that my son had in the 6th grade at Cedar Grove Elementary School. Her name is Dr. McCarrick, and when I walked into her classroom, I was already a grown-up. I wasn't young. I went to college for something different. But when I saw how she was able to get all of her students enthused, and when I saw that she, too, waited a little bit longer in life to become a teacher, I thought, I can do this too. So I went back to school, and I became a teacher a little bit later. That's why I'm in kindergarten now. And I have to tell you, it was the best move I ever made.
I have been fortunate enough to have a lot of family members that are teachers, and so it's a joke around my house that it's in our blood. It's something that I always knew that I wanted to do. I wanted to work with children, and now having the opportunity to be a kindergarten teacher is on the top of my list, so I'm very excited.
I remember so many super teachers that I had when I was in elementary school, and they just made me love learning, which is something I want to make my students do. So I grew up loving learning, and now I want them to do it as well. And I remember Mrs. Donna Mulrain, she worked at Cedar Grove, and I had her, and she was fantastic, and she just inspired me to be a great teacher.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you.
It's now time for Curriculum Corner. Teachers at the Grove have been busy determining their students' independent reading levels using the Found Test and Pinnell benchmark assessments. This approach allows teachers to differentiate reading instruction and tailor goals to individual students.
The district has also adopted the updated Everyday Mathematics 4 that promotes a solid foundation of math skills while allowing students to use those concepts in a problem-solving approach based on everyday scenarios.
Both language arts and mathematics are taught in a workshop model that begins with a teacher-driven mini-lesson to introduce the content and skill, followed by collaborative group work and culminating with independent practice and application.
Science and social studies continue to be incorporated into reading and writing through informational text and project-based learning opportunities. In addition, we continue to integrate technology into the classrooms with Chromebooks, LCD projectors, and document cameras, which have enhanced our teachers' ability to supplement the curriculum with engaging websites, programs, and resources, preparing our Patriots to be 21st century learners.
It's time for another short break, but when we return, we will share how student-driven hands-on learning was demonstrated by our 4th graders in a very special challenge. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it.
Something's happening to the polar bear. Arctic sea ice is melting away. 2/3 of the world's polar bears will be gone by 2050. And the entire species could be extinct by the end of the century. Go to SaveThePolarBear.org today.
Welcome back to Primary News. I'm Liza. Today's Makerspace segment focuses on STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, a multidisciplinary approach to education. It was demonstrated by our Mrs. Snyder, our technology teacher, as she put our 4th graders to the test, as they collectively designed and constructed marshmallow and spaghetti towers.
This is a team-building activity originally made by popular by Tom Mujek, an author and software designer who has done multiple studies on how we share and absorb information in the problem-solving process. The objective of this challenge is to work in groups to create the tallest structure using only 20 pieces of dry spaghetti and 20 mini marshmallows.
This challenge touches on the 5 C's: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and contemplation, believed to be key components to student success inside and outside of school. Each group had a unique approach to the task. Let's watch a clip of 2 winning teams as they share their experiences in this activity.
Hello, I'm Reed, and I'm here with some of the winners of the Spaghetti and Marshmallow Challenge. Before we begin, I would like to congratulate you all. Your 2 groups created the tallest tower using 20 pieces of spaghetti and 20 marshmallows. How did you begin the task given only 30 minutes? Did you start with the design or jump right in?
We started talking about it, and then we just started right away.
Well, we had Riley draw a picture, and we kind of used her design of how tall it was to build like the structure. And then we started talking about it, and then we got right to it.
All right. This is definitely an activity of trial and error. What was your greatest challenge, and how did you overcome it?
We started off with the square, and we figured out that wasn't working, so we went to a triangle, and we tried to get it up as high as we can go, and it wasn't as steady, so we had to put stabilizers on it.
Well, we kind of started with the square and then went to triangle, realizing it wasn't working because it was like leaning over, coming to fall down. Yeah. So we changed it to triangle and put like 2-3 pieces of spaghetti to like stabilize it. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah. What did you discover was the most effective shapes or strategies to give your tower strength and height?
The triangle was most effective, and we had to have people from our group hold it as other kids put some stabilizers in, so it would stay up.
We used the triangle, but we put more than like 1 or 2 stabilizers, sometimes 3. I was holding it up, Riley was putting in the stabilizers. We realized the tall part, it was kind of going down, so then we put like 1 or 2 up to keep it straight.
How did you work together as a group to achieve your goal?
We had people hold it up as other people stuck the noodles in.
Riley would hold the bottom as I would hold the top, and Madeline would start putting in like structure to keep it like steady and straight.
What did you enjoy most about this activity?
Working in a group and how we had to build it by ourselves.
As you know, I like to build, and I enjoy it when we like do it as a group. It was really fun.
Thank you for watching.
How fun! You're going to conclude tonight's episode of Primary News with Technology. Cedar Grove students love MobyMax. MobyMax is a completely integrated K-8 curriculum and teaching system aligned to the Common Core standards. The program encourages students to be better problem solvers and critical and creative thinkers. It allows students to work at their own pace on individualized lessons. Teachers can monitor progress in real time in order to set goals and guide instruction.
MobyMax is extremely motivational as students can automatically earn game time for correct answers and manually be rewarded by their teachers for hard work. Students can also earn badges based on lesson completion. In addition, teachers can create contests and certificates to name just a few. Let's turn the program over to Yeva and Haley, who will share more of MobyMax's innovative features.
Now we're going to talk about something called game time. If you get an answer correct and then you get a whole lesson correct, then you get this thing called game time. If you go down here to this game tab, there's a whole bunch of different games that you could play. But it all depends on how much game time you have, because if you run out of game time, then you can't play the games anymore. Sometimes you'll have 1 to 5 seconds of game time, or even 10 seconds of game time. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Oh, I kind of messed up, yeah.
Well, that Well, that wraps up tonight's edition of Primary News. Remember, if you have a story you would like us to cover or you have an announcement about an upcoming event, please send it to the Interschool Mail at TV Studio at High School East, or you can email us at tv21@trschools.com.
Also, be sure to tune in to TV21 throughout the day to catch this show, as we bring you stories from around the district. You can also view our website at www.trschools.com/TV21.
On behalf of Cedar Grove Elementary, I'm James.
And I'm Liza. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Go Patriots!
The Patriots are #1. We do a lot of work